So you want to play as the synthetics, do you? Righty ho, let's fucking get on with it then. Firstly, choose any country. It doesn't fucking matter which one. Great choice, the little OPM fucker. Now you'll want to pick utter scrub or die, don't have the balls to play a man's game mode, or non-Iron Man for short. And then proceed. Let us enter the world of the Scrub Lord. Remember, this is what those paradox fuckers were working on whilst the shit show known as Dharma needed fixing. The cunts. Skip this shit. Ah, look at Ilm. The tiny OP1 province miner fucker, the bane of many of my HRE games, joining coalitions all over the parish. Resplendent in his shiny breastplate. They could have made an effort with the flag though. Anyway, open up the console like the scrub lord you are. And type in synthetic dawn. If I need to tell you how to open console, you have no business playing grand strategy. Go find the way on the fucking internet. Now tag switch to the synthetic bastards. Hey presto, you're a synth. At this point weird shit happens. It may take you a while to find where the fuckers have spawned, but they'll be somewhere. Usually a tick around of the month will help you out. Well, will you look at that, an instant CB on every fucker in the world. I can already tell this is going to be a hard game. Looks like it wasn't a European spawn. Great, we'll have to play as some backward country that stones people to death or dances with the dead only to catch the fucking plague. But that's called culture. Okay, let's have a closer look at what Paradox wasted its precious time upon, shall we? Well, it looks like a robot, I suppose, but why the fuck have a sword if you're advanced enough to make a robot dick? So, machine intelligence, but not intelligent enough to make a fucking gun. What do you bring to this shit show? Nothing interesting. Excellent. Some real flavor there, well done Paradox. Maybe they'll bring out a DLC for that. Government reforms? Oh, exactly the same as the fucker we took over from, because tribal robots make sense, I suppose. No point in either of those. Now ideas, this gonna be good. 25% discount on tech. Well, that's fairly OP, but I suppose we are robots. Robots without guns. 20% morale of armies, so you've given us Elan, just like Scrublord in General France. Minus 25% shock damage received. I can't quite put into words how OP this fucker is. An additional 25% to land force limit and a recruit time of minus 25%. As if these scrubs needed a double stacking idea. Minus 20% to aggressive expansion. Sounds good, doesn't it? But Paradox even managed to fuck this one up. More on this fucker later. An additional 20% to national taxes. Utterly useless, but again I will reveal how useless in a bit. Finally Diplo rep. Fucking Diplo rep. One single fucking Diplo rep. What am I meant to do with one fucking Diplo rep when the rest of the world has a negative 1000 opinion of me? See? Invasion. Negative 1000 to relations. Even with robot dick. Let's try Ming. They love robot relations. Oh, maybe not. The fuckers don't even know who we are. That's racist. Yemen? No man. Next country to waste one fucking Diplo reputation on. Portugal? No? Well, no one wants to be friends with the fucking Portuguese anyway. Oh, let me show you why an additional 20% to taxes is worthless. Because you get 49 ducats and 80 pennies every month for invading anyway. From whom? Who the fuck is paying us to fuck the world up? Oh, I nearly forgot to show you the traditions of sword-wielding robots. Here we go, an 85% discount on all regiments. For those of you as shit at maths as I am, that makes infantry cost 2 fucking ducats and cav cost 5. They take 50% more fire damage because they can invade the planet but not have ever invented a fucking fire extinguisher. You also take on the missions and the decisions of the country you took over, because even though Paradox wasted valuable time and resources on this, they still wanted to stick to their MO of half-assed. Muslim robots, what could possibly go wrong? Wait, what the actual fuck is this? Muslim robots that can be defender of the fucking faith? More moral for a 5% penalty in tech. Good one, Paradox. Might as well take that. As we've picked up such a giant penalty to tech, we had best hire some good advisors. Improved relations, why not? It'll do fuck all. Discipline. Go on then, let's fuck everyone up slightly quicker. Speaking of discipline, what are we rocking? Oh, only 130%. Prussian levels of discipline in 1444. Excellent. Moral ain't that shabby either, thanks defender of the faith. As for ships, who gives a fuck about ships when you have 130% discipline? Okay, it's probably time to go and fuck someone up as soon as the 11th of December rolls around, thanks to imperialism CB. Who to fuck, who to fuck, who to fuck. Risen, you're the winner. Let's test this shit out on someone small. And away we go. Everyone just head in that general direction. With 130% discipline, who gives a toss about timing this correctly? We have a billion manpower, or robot power I suppose. Let's just get into them. And here we see why playing as the synths is no challenge at all. Instant core as soon as the province falls. Sure, the dev drops to 3, but who the fuck actually cares? No aggressive expansion and no overextension for all the fucking scrub lords to whine about. It's like a grand strategy game for children. Let's slow this down a little and see what an early battle looks like. Pretty fucking one-sided. This is really stretching my capabilities as an EU4 player. It's a good job they haven't invented guns yet. Ridiculous. Who the fuck asked for this? Where did the demand come from? Who the fuck is responsible for Paradox thinking this would be a good idea to waste time and resources upon? When they had the absolute shit show that was the Dharma DLC. It was so fucking bad, so fucking unfit for human consumption that it required an update within a few days. But they'll work on this crap. At the cost of what exactly? Adequate play testing of their own material perhaps.
But it was done in their own time, lucky Marine.
Shut the fuck up, Bridget. If they can't get the real stuff right, what makes them think they should be wasting time on this shit? You don't get your pudding if you don't eat your cunting main meal is what I always got told as a kid. Without the vagina references, of course. But it's okay. Paradox just decides to pop smoke and cover up the calamity that was Dharma with the Free Poland update 26 days later. If you're actually interested in this game. Yes, we just declared war on Muscovy and his minions. Why not? 26 fucking days. I've had longer shits. How is anyone with an actual life, with a family and everything meant to play? Because. Newsflash, Paradox. The main demographic for this game is the older male. Some even have real jobs. Commitments. Who can perhaps spare a few hours per night on a campaign. So a 26 fucking day gap between Iron Man breaking updates is a disgrace. How about working on the content of the DLC you're churning out so rapidly instead of pointless crap like synthetics? How about playtesting your shit so you know that it's going to work? You could outsource that shit to the community and they would do that for free. If you already do this, then any playtester that signed off on Dharma needs to be thrown in the sea, like I do with my Simpleton 001 heirs. They obviously don't have the balls to tell you that shit's fucked. Try recruiting people with the capabilities for critical thought, not just fanboys who lick your bum the right way. But anyway, final signing off should have come from in-house. And whoever signed off on Dharma needs the same treatment as that aforementioned heir. As you can see from the gameplay, it's really difficult going against Muscovy. Paradox have truly come up with a real challenge for us here. I'm going to skip ahead to the peace deal. Oh wait, there is no fucking peace deal because you automatically core everything you take. Therefore there is no aggressive expansion. So what the fuck was the point in a 20% discount on aggressive expansion idea paradox? They say a camel is a horse that has been designed by a committee. Well, which committee designed this pile of horse shit? Attack into Novgorod? Why the fuck not my metallic breadwin? Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. It's not like Novgorod lasts very long in the wild anyway. Oh, and that Poland update whilst we're fucking at it. New mission trees all around. Except Moldavia and Wallachia have exactly the same missions. Exactly the same. That's the kind of shit that gets me mad. Just something as simple as naming the missions ever so slightly different would lessen the rage. It's like that cunt at school that asks to copy your homework. You begrudgingly say yes because you're not a twat. But you ask him to change a few things around to not make it obvious that they're exactly the same pieces of work. He copies you word for word like the fucking spastic mong he is and then somehow gets a fucking higher mark than you. I still remember Neil, you cunt. It's almost like this has happened at Paradox. Maybe the one making the Moldavian ideas was off sick for a while. I can only speculate. It was probably spastic mong Neil. But hey. It's probably a decent excuse for another DLC, I suppose. Speaking of DLC. When was the last one you can remember that was balanced? That didn't break the game. That didn't need rescuing within a few days with rushed updates. In my humble opinion, it was probably Third Rome. Orthodox needed some loving and got it. The Siberian frontier was a little OP, but it was all shit land. Streltsy were strong. But they came at a cost to how much you needed to pay for stability. There was balance. It was well put together. Since then we've had a Britain update. That adds a load of industrialization. And resources that flip to coal. Whoopie fucking do. It all happens far too late to be of any use. By that time you're already massive.
But what about those who like to play tall?
Shut the fuck up, Bridget. Playing tall is just an excuse for being shit. And don't get me started on Anglicanism, the only real use of it being a dump of ducats every few months.
But if you pick religious ideas you can deism all through Europe.
Shut the fuck up, Bridget. Who the fuck is picking the train wreck that is religious ideas over humanist these days? Same cunt that's playing tall. That's who.
Well, at least they fixed not being able to convert in territories in the Poland update.
Neil has now lost the title of spastic mong to Bridget by knockout. You do realize that the supposed fix to religious was Paradox desperately trying to fix a sucking chest wound with an elastoplast. Yes, you can convert territories now, but who the fuck is going to sit through shitty religious ideas all the way to the end for that? Religious is now a specialized tool. Used in very niche situations, such as Austria to stamp down on the centers of Reformation. Humanist just wins, hands down, from blanket unrest reduction to improved relations. Everyone knows improved relations is how to expand fast without coalitions. More tolerance and less rebels means saving manpower for fighting the bastards next door, like kebab or baguette. And don't get me started on discounted to ideas. Religious is just shit. And having a finisher that allows you to convert territories is convincing no one. Anyway, let's skip ahead to the next war. How about Poland? Why the fuck not? We can't be stopped. You can stick your cav combat ability up your ass. I find myself getting mad at myself for getting mad at Paradox. They have a business model, I get it, and one that works well. If it didn't work I wouldn't have thousands of hours in the game. It has been great value for money. But that does not, should not, will not excuse shoddy, poorly presented DLC. I think if you work at Paradox on this game you have a responsibility to churn out better work than this. You have a legacy to live up to and you're failing. Failing the consumer, but also failing the ones that have put real effort and dedication into the development of this game before you showed your fat faces. It makes me mad because I care. I don't quite know what way Paradox is going with this game. But it might be time to start thinking of EU5. It can't be easy trying to get a base game to seamlessly link into any plethora of DLC the customer has bought. Perhaps start releasing the earlier DLC for free. Fuck knows you could do with an influx of new players. So many vomit at the thought of spending so much on DLC. Think economy of scale instead of penny pinching. As for this game going on, well, it's a piece of fucking piss. Who gives a fuck about diplomats? Who gives a fuck about Diplo reputation? Who gives a fuck about merchants? But it's a good job we get a diplomatic reputation point as one of our ideas. Seriously, we're back to horseshit committee here. If only the ideas made sense. If only there had been some challenge. Any challenge at all. Christ, I bet the AI could world conquest this on its own.
Maybe the idea is to spawn the synths and then have an end boss to fight.
Shut the fuck up, Spastic Mong. Only scub lords play without Iron Man. And good luck keeping these fuckers out of your squishy interior. We all know forts are fucked. It doesn't matter how many videos fuckers make trying to defend the AI walking through forts. It still happens. It renders forts as a tool for area denial almost useless. Almost as useless as fucking vassals asking for military access all over the parish when you're at war. 75,000 fucking Muslims in the back door is exactly what I needed. Thanks a lot, Moldavia, you cunt. Anyway, I digress. Let's skip ahead a little to the next declaration of war. Kebab. Let's fucking go. There's no vassal for you to get access from this time. I'm going to fuck your shit up so easily. Oh, how the tables have turned. With your shitty fucking stealth combat pip. Yes, I know about it, you fucker. Who the fuck plays as the Ottomans anyway? Unless you're going to flip them to Catholic and then get them on the throne of the HRE, it's just boring. Spoiler alert. This is going to be as easy as plowing our way through Muscovy. And Lithuania. And Poland. Well, this is fun. Thanks for this, Paradox. Declaration of war just because asking for access is too much like hard work. And just like that, the Ottomans are reduced to touching goats on Corfu. Their one remaining province. Fuck them. So in the space of about 100 years we've taken out 4 pretty big players. You really think this end boss is going to wait till endgame to come get you? No way. And there is no negotiating with it because you have a -1000 penalty towards it. Nice one. I should play on to see if they ever develop pew pew guns. Or learn the wizardry of a fire extinguisher. Or if Paradox have been on the ball enough to alter the cannon sprite to something a bit more exotic. What do you think? To be brutally honest though, this has really bored me. No one other than a massive simpleton is going to derive any pleasure out of this. It's far too easy. But remember, it was deemed important enough to take up the time and resources of a dev team pushing out the last DLC. It's a fucking good job Paradox doesn't have a competitor for EU4. This amount of foot shooting is usually only reserved for the Labour Party. Maybe Diane Abbott can help them out with a few numbers. Until next time. Take care. Fuckers.